Well, I'm glad you all could make it. My name is Jonathan McNamara, and I'm the web editor at the Texas Observer magazine, which is based here in Austin, but covers Texas. Obviously, it's in the name. Today, we're talking about nonprofit journalism, which is sort of, admittedly, an endless topic. So to spice things up a little bit, we're specifically going to talk about 4 survival techniques for your nonprofit journalism organizations. And we're going to do so in a presentation style that you may not be totally familiar with. We're using a presentation style called Ignite. And what that means is that the 4 of us will each have 5 minutes and 20 slides to talk to you about whatever it is that we're going to talk about. So we hope to enlighten you, but, you know, make it pretty quick. Up first is Meghann Farnsworth, the Senior Manager of Distribution and Online Engagement for the Center of Investigative Reporting, who will tell us how to distribute content to other publications to create revenue. After that is me, sorry about that, but it's the breaks. I'll be talking to you about how to get as much bang for your buck as possible from social media when you're short-staffed and not employing a full-time social media person. Which, you know, I know is not that big of a problem, right? Everybody's got social media people on your team? Then we'll hear from Tanya Erlach, who directs the Texas Tribune Festival. She'll tell us about the great importance of hosting events. And closing the presentation is Sherilyn Parsons, formerly of the Center for Investigative Reporting and now a world traveler and book festival creator for the San Francisco Bay Area. She has 18 years of fundraising experience, 15 of those or so are in nonprofit journalism. She will be talking to us about how to use philanthropic fundraising effectively. And just word of a request really, we're gonna have ample time after the presentations to take questions, and we will, because we wanna hear from all of you guys. And seriously, we're each gonna get like 5 minutes, so please hold questions to the end. And without further ado, Meghann?
All right, let's do this. Everyone hear me okay? Mic set up? Okay. All right, so 15 seconds a slide, so apologize in advance, but here it goes. All right, do it. So again, my name is Meghann Farnsworth. I'm with the Center for Investigative Reporting. I've worked there for about 3 years. And what I do is I basically connect our content to other news organizations. CIR has the philosophy that a lot of our content can live and breathe elsewhere. And that goes to the story, which all of us start with. So when we have a story, before you start writing it or researching it, think about the ways in which it can be produced. If you start with that principle that it can start for more than text, you're going to be better off. That goes to impact. We're all trying to make it. So if you want to make the biggest impact, your content should reflect the kind that you're trying to make. Meaning, if I want to reach kids, I should probably produce that in a different way than text. That goes to adults as well. The story then can be produced in a number of different ways. It can be produced for different audiences, for different media outlets. And again, by thinking of that at the beginning of your story rather than at the very end, you're going to save yourself a lot of time whether you have a story and you don't know where it's going to go. So that goes to which outlet you can get to. People are more and more going to their same outlet to get their news. So you may read the paper, you may watch TV, but they may not listen to radio. So you want to make sure that you're on all of those different platforms. And here we go. Exclusivity is dead. The CIR has found that media organizations more and more want the content regardless of who else has it. So if you have a statewide story, get some data and localize it for other news organizations. They want it. That being said, long live exclusivity. If a news organization wants to pay you for your story because it's that good, go for it. There's nothing wrong with having one media outlet as long as it's reaching the audience that you really want to reach. That goes to thinking of your story as different products. We created a coloring book for kids off our seismic series a couple of years ago because the story was for kids. If schools fall down around them, they should know what to do. We had corporate sponsorship on this coloring book, so we made money off of it. If you have data, think about if you can produce data regularly for news organizations who don't have tech people. Can you consistently get data to organizations that can pay a yearly fee? That's a huge incentive to people who have smaller newsrooms than you may have it. So not all media is created equal though. Make sure you get to know your potential partners. The Washington Post and New York Times have different priorities and editorial schedules than some local media. So make sure you take some time to get to know editors or reporters there so you can pitch them effectively. And that goes to like choosing the right kind of outlet. You may be wanting to reach a different kind of audience than the Washington Post has. So you may want to go to that really small local weekly rather than the big newspaper because they have the audience you want. So that, again, choose the partner that has that one person you want to reach. It could be somebody that's not able to pay you, but by making it to that person, you're going to have a higher impact. And that's what we're all trying to have. So don't stop by just selling your content, selling yourself short. So the pricing model, price it to the size of your partners. Don't charge national outlets the same as a local market. You'll price yourselves right out of the market. So think about different micro, regional, statewide, national outlets so that everyone can get a chance at your content. Start with modest prices. If you introduce yourself to someone, don't go straight for the $5,000. Introduce yourself out so that you can gain credibility and get them used to you so that they'll keep coming back to them. Let them know that they're introductory prices so that you can build up. Send budget lines. Don't send your full story. Give them a little bit of taste. Get them to respond to you. Say, hey, we're really interested before you send the full story. And never, ever, ever send an email pitch without a price in it. That way, again, people know that you're charging for content. So I've distributed over like thousands of stories to the Center for Investigative Reporting. I've only had one broken embargo in my entire career there. So share the story. Don't be afraid of telling people what you're working on. You can really ruin a relationship if you don't bring people in on the early side. Contracts, we have them. Do not leave home without them. It could be in the form of an email, an MOU, anything. Get it written down on paper in an email that says this price with this embargo. Here are the rules of working with us. And that goes to like thinking beyond the a la carte. With your contracts, how often can you produce? How regularly? Think about packages that you can sell, data, video, text, social media, events. Package things together so that you have a higher reach for them. So now go out and sell. I'm on Twitter at Meghann CIR. I'm happy to take questions. And also I can be reached at Farnsworth at Sierra Online. Always happy to give advice. There you go.
It's pretty fast, right?